what's the top of your hand? It's fingers. It's what it is. Don't worry about it.
Look, it's the stock.
Oh,
It's the stock, but it's styled to
Let's
look like
take another
hair,
one.
just like the Bitcoin is styled to look like eyes.
Right.
Get it? So
Yeah.
it's
Is
both
this
hair
hard? I heard
and
it.
the
It don't really-
stock.
The Bitcoin doesn't really look
Hey,
like
Mario.
eyes. It looks like a mask over eyes, but
You wanna get
it doesn't really look
Yeah.
like eyes.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Well,
It's
it
kinda cool,
shapes
that.
the
Why
eyes
does
and
Samurai
the mouth,
Wallet
actually.
have sucked up the cans
Yeah.
on Twitter and Telegram?
Okay.
Because they started getting bored with running civil instances
I wonder
on
why
their
white
telephones,
was
so they started tasking.
Not orange.
So you
I
see
think that's
it,
easy.
better.
Yeah, more contrast, you think? Yeah,
Yeah,
I guess
exactly.
Okay. Shall we?
so. Nice.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Mario.
Yeah, I'm here. Just a second. I'm
Oh, okay,
I will
okay.
share the,
The
I will
website, you can
repeat the
download
thing.
that and
And,
Oh, yeah,
uh,
yeah.
Yeah,
no problem.
3D printer, if you have one. It's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
I have a very small 3D printer, so
So print a very small one.
yep.
Wait, what? I can't throw. I can't aim.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
MZ, can you be bigger? You're too small, MZ.
Oh, what? Why I'm small? What happened? No.
I need to be bigger.
Yeah, and dance.
No.
Hey. Yeah, that's...
okay, I'm ready.
Hello.
Why does he keep throwing things at you? I don't understand.
Okay, so you can sit over there.
I was trying to
Oh
duck
yeah,
behind
what's
him.
it? Nice.
What did I do?
didn't you
And let's see. What didn't you do exactly? Okay.
Neat.
Woo!
Whoa!
Woo! Okay. Now I can mute everyone. This is great. You wish you could mute people with HCPP, right? That would have been awesome.
Oh yeah.
Or speakers. Like if there's a speaker saying something you don't like they talk about Ethereum, you can just mute them. That's it.
So if
Okay.
I start talking about Ethereum, yeah, okay.
Exactly. Maybe. Who knows? Anything might happen. This is VR. You never know. Okay, so hey everyone, welcome. This is Reckless VR number 77. Maybe. I'm sure there's a number. Maybe. MZ is doing this. Maybe. I don't know. Could be. So, yeah. So welcome. If you're watching this in video, then you're a moron. You should be here in VR. I don't know why you're watching this in video. Next time you can watch this in VR and meet everyone here. And the way to do that is to go to recklessvr.com and sign up, and you'll get invites, and you can just join in here, and you don't even have to have a VR headset. You can join with your PC. So just saying. Anyways, this time we have Mario Havel with us. And Mario is doing a few things. Mario's from Paralelni Polis in Prague, and he's also working on Bleskomat, which is an ATM for Lightning. And he hosted HCPP just a week ago. And a few other stuff. He's going to tell us about all of that. And, well, maybe Mario, just tell us a bit about yourself before we start. What do you say?
Yeah, so thank you for having me. And as you said, I'm from Paralelni Polis here in Prague, this beautiful black building. And I'm focused on security, privacy, because I love this cyberpunk cryptoanarchy kind of stuff. And yeah, I like Bitcoin. I here in Paralelni Polis was born the ATM Bleskomat, but I'm not directly working on it. It is a project of Charlie and Carlos, our friends here. And I'm just helping with them, and I'm doing the onboarding part. Yeah, I'm just introducing that to people. So
that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. So, and what about Paralelni Polis? Can you tell us a bit about just what it is? Because I've heard the name a ton of times, but I've never been.
Oh, it's a shame that you wasn't here, man. So you should come definitely. It's a lovely place, and well, the Paralelni Polis. So if you never heard about the concept of parallel polis in general, parallel polis is I would say something natural. It occurs in the history, but what we refer to as Paralelni Polis here is what described Václav Benda. He was dissident during communism in Czechoslovakia, and as a part of Charta 77, the dissident movement, he wrote an essay called Paralelni Polis, in which he described the way of building parallel societies, basically. The idea that if you cannot really fight with the government, change the system, the best way of achieving freedom is through building parallel structures, building parallel economy, parallel education, and so on. And this Paralelni Polis where I'm sitting in, let's call it Paralelni Polis 2.0, was created like 6 years ago thanks to Czech activist artist Stohoven and a group of hackers from Slovakia. And these two groups of people came together and find out that these ideas of building parallel societies, as the dissidents described 40 years ago, can be put into digital era thanks to crypto technologies. Yes, so we can achieve this Paralelni Polis thanks to, for example, stuff like Bitcoin and cryptoanarchy tools. Yeah, so Paralelni Polis itself, as you said, it's not just an idea. It's a physical place. So here in Prague, we have this black building. Downstairs, when you come inside, there is Bitcoin Cafe, which is probably the first place in the world which accepts only cryptocurrencies, only Bitcoin, let's say. And upstairs, the first floor is Paper Hub, which is co-working. It's called Paper Hub because when they opened 6 years ago, they didn't have money for furniture, so they created it out of the paper, and it was really nice. And the highest floor is Institute of Cryptoanarchy, which is the place for events, meetups, and kind of serve as a think tank for the crypto-anarchist topics here. And downstairs there is also a studio for creating some content. You could see HCPP TV broadcasted from there, and right next to that is Bordel, which is the place I'm here right now. It's a hackerspace that we opened a few months ago, so the newest concept inside Paralelni Polis. Yeah, so
Cool.
That's Paralelni Polis.
Cool. And you have a VR equipment thing going on there too, right? Like you have.
Yes. Yeah, we are playing with VR. We have VR headset here in Bordel, and there's been some play with VR stuff, like the guys from Somnium Space. If you know the project, we're here. For example, we did some events also, and some guys from who were developing Decentraland are also some members of community. So we are some VR fun here. And so I'm from Slovakia, and 3 years ago we started Paralelni Polis, like a fork of Paralelni Polis in Slovakia, in Bratislava. And sadly, it died during Corona because of financial issues and so on. So we kind of transitioned to digital space, and we also experimented in VR. So we have also Paralelni Polis as a building built in VR in Somnium Space. You can visit that.
Cool. Where is it? How do I visit it?
Yeah, you can. It's in. You have to use Somnium Space. We actually that's an NFT bullshit. Yeah, we got there. You can.
I need to buy an NFT to get in.
No, you don't have to. In order to get a land there, you need to get NFT. So we bought that, and don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. No. Yeah. Please create
fine.
a platform which is not based on NFT bullshit, and I'll be glad to use it. Okay. So, yeah, we do also VR fun here. So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. So you mentioned cryptoanarchy. What, how do you define cryptoanarchy? What does it mean for you?
Yeah, it's a tough question. So cryptoanarchy.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah. Thank you. Cryptoanarchy, don't see cryptoanarchy as, for example, an ideology. It's not something like libertarianism or communism. I see cryptoanarchy more as using tools. Yeah, the idea, the cryptoanarchistic manifesto that Timothy May wrote in the 80s is more about that we now have here this technology that wasn't here before that can allow us defend ourselves from, for example, governments and therefore achieve freedom. So, Cryptoanarchic Manifesto is talking about revolution, which can come with this kind of technology. So, as a crypto-anarchist, I am the one using the tools and helping to build or improve the ecosystem where I can live with them, use them, which I also see as this parallel society. Yeah. So in general, crypto-anarchy is, I would say, using these weapons because, for example, Bitcoin is referred also to as a weapon. Yeah, maybe some wallets are referred to as a privacy weapons. I see this as a using this weapons, but in a defensive manner where it helps you to achieve more freedom. Yeah, that's cryptoanarchy for me. It's a thing on the T-shirt. Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, and I see that like the name Institute of Cryptoanarchy is used sometimes. Is that just another name for Paralelni Polis, or is that something else?
Yeah, as I said, it's one of the concepts within Paralelni Polis. Physically, it's the highest floor where the events are happening, but it's, let's say, think tank, which should cover the topics of cryptoanarchy and which hosts HTTP, actually. And it's one of our brands here. But Institute was supposed to be a hackerspace, but it's more of a, because this you may have seen the logo of Paralelni Polis, the triangle, and triangle with three things means in context of Paralelni Polis. I see the Outspace logo is similar actually.
Yeah.
This triangle means yes, combining art and science and technology, which is the point of Institute of Cryptoanarchy. Yeah. So as I would also mention, it's like or the idea is testing different stuff, finding ways of achieving these parallel societies through technologies. Yeah.
Okay, I got it. So you said that you were kind of onboarding people, I guess, to Bitcoin. What does that look like exactly? So like, what people show up and they like, is that like a formal thing with or do they just show up randomly and ask for help?
Actually, yes. There are different types of onboarding that I do because, well, I do some workshops and talks, which are events. But as I mentioned, there is here downstairs is a cafe, Bitcoin cafe. So if somebody comes here and wants to have a best cafe in Prague, I have to teach him how to use Bitcoin, or somebody has to teach him how to do that. So this is where I onboarded the most people, I think, because it's the fastest and easiest way how to use Bitcoin. And on this concept of just having a cafe for Bitcoin, we want to show how easy it is to use it, and that people shouldn't be worried. So that's the perfect place for onboarding. So sometimes I used to just stand next to the ATM, and if there was many people coming, I just explained the concept, recommended a wallet, and we did the whole thing in a few minutes, and then they can have a coffee. So
what kind of wallet do you recommend?
Well, depends on what we are doing. In the past few months, we are using mostly Blaskomat here. We are using mostly Lightning, so I shell Phoenix wallet. Yeah, that's what I recommend to people if they have Android. Sadly, there is no Phoenix yet for iOS. So for iOS users, the most simple wallet they can use is Wallet of Satoshi, which is sadly custodial, or Blue Wallet also. It also does LNURL, which Blaskomat requires. So
what about Breeze?
Yeah. Yeah, Breeze is nice, but Breeze has a problem on iOS that it's in test flight, and if you are in the situation that you need
Right.
to explain and just start the wallet in few minutes, easiest way possible for somebody to have a cafe. He needs to install test flight and so on. And I've been testing that Breeze. It's really nice. I like it, but there are some issues that the syncing, and it's heavy, and then it fails on some phones and so on.
Right.
So yeah.
So
I'm
for
really
iOS
hoping
users,
for-
it's mostly like custodial wallets.
Well, I don't want to recommend custodial wallets. Actually, what we are doing here in Bordel, we are running Node, of course, and LND Hub on it. So we are actually having our own LND Hub backend for Blue Wallet. So iPhone users who want to be really custodial can use like our internal LND Hub and have more whatever privacy and security. Yeah, that's what I love about Phoenix, and that's why I'm hoping it's coming soon to iOS, because it's non-custodial and works the best. Yeah.
Yeah. How does it? By the way, I don't remember like what's the onboarding flow for Phoenix. Like, does it require you to write down the seed, or like what?
Well,
what do people go through?
Yeah. So I will give an as example Blascomat when we are using that. So Blascomat is using LN URL that on the machine you will just put in there your dirty fiat shitcoin, and it will show you QR code, and you just install Phoenix and open receive, use LN URL link, or just open scanning and scan the code, and you immediately receive money. And so it's super flawless, and it takes like few seconds. And then in the menu, if you first create a wallet, there is option to write down a seed and use PIN code. So when we do this, either before or after they bought their first Bitcoin for a few crowns, whatever, I will give them this paper. We have like this paper cards with 24 places for a seed. Yeah, and on the other side is some info about Paralelni Polis and Bitcoin and some links that you can use. So I give this to them, and then they have a cafe, drink a coffee, and they can write down their seed. Meanwhile, yeah, and yes, but of course you have to
Cool.
in a few sentences explain what is happening, why
Yeah.
you have to keep this secure and so on.
So what kind of things do you like feel like you need to expose them immediately and explain them while they're still with you? And what kind of things do you let them like find out on their own later? Like, where's the line? Because some people will say, well, they need to run their own node, they need to manage their hardware wallet, whatever. But obviously you only have them for like, you have their attention for a few minutes probably. So like what do you focus on? Just those things, I guess.
Yeah. As I mentioned, the first batch is the first transactions. Yeah, just to buy coffee, see how easy how it works, and then if they want to learn more. They have the info on the card that I get him. They can contact me, and we do some regular workshops, meetups here where they can learn. More or whatever. For example, as you mentioned the running node, I'm super pro running nodes. So what I do also is that if somebody is really interested, and I help him to get to the rabbit hole to learn more. We have a place here in Bordel where we can store your node. So if you just get a Raspberry Pi or some hardware, I will help you to set it up, and you can have it safely stored here and so on. So so for people who are really interested, I can get them through the whole journey to their own node and help them to run it here, for example.
How many, like, as a rough number, how many people would you say you find that are interested in that? Like, is it 5%, 10%?
Oh, well, it depends on what you count. Oh, that's definitely not. It's minority. It's really because the people start being motivated to use their own node if they really understand what the benefits of security and privacy, but also all the software that they can use. Yeah, you don't run just a node, you run your Electrum server, Lightning node, Dojo, whatever, BTC Pay, and RPC Explorer, and so on. So when there is somebody who starts to use Bitcoin more often, they need these tools and they're motivated to use them. Yeah, these are people. There's just few of them. That's not maybe 1%. Because and it's different where you are, because here in Prague, in Paralelni Polis and Cafe, there's more people involved, but when you do this more massive onboarding, for example, we were at some festival doing cafe there for Lightning, and I onboarded like 200 people there, yeah, and maybe like 1-2 of them were maybe 3 of them were interested to have own node. So yeah, it's really not so many people.
Right. Okay. So, next question. It's a trick question. So, not a lot of people are interested in nodes. How many people are interested in shitcoins?
Oh, well, definitely more of them. Definitely more. But it also depends on what kind of people. Because in mainstream, crypto is represented by Bitcoin. Yeah, so most people are asking about the Bitcoin, and you don't have to somehow, get into shitcoins whatsoever. You just start with the Bitcoin and end with that. But there are people from this, how do you say that? They come with all the shitcoin buzzword salad, and you have to explain slower. You cannot really do this. Nobody uses this shit. Don't buy it, and be safe here with this. Yeah, I mean, actually, what we were doing is that at like even few years we were using primarily Litecoin in Cafe. Because Bitcoin on-chain was unusable for having a cafe because of the block time and fees.
Right.
So yeah, and we switched to Litecoin as some, let's say, testnet for Bitcoin. Like, it's your first touch with the thing, and if you can do Litecoin, you can then invest more in Bitcoin, for example. So it's like a playground for people. And now, so many people are here who are somehow Litecoinist, and I'm for example surprised by that, because I think it's a Bitcoin, yeah. Yeah, and of course DeFi and Ethereum guys are here, and somebody comes and asks around about this stuff, of course, and there's some Monero community also that I notice. Which is also connected to the cryptoanarchy cypherpunks here who are into privacy, so they like Monero. But definitely most of the people are into Bitcoin. But you asked in the beginning whether more people are interested in running node or shitcoins, and this terms shitcoins.
Obviously, shitcoins. Yeah. And so, but you did. Do people reach out and say, okay, Bitcoin is cool, we also want to learn about Ethereum, and can you, I would assume they do, right?
Yes, exactly. This is happening. So yeah, I might teach people also about Ethereum. Why not? Or do you throw a ball at me now? No.
No, not throwing anything.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, I also, if somebody's interested, I can also explain Ethereum. And there was actually one person because he got some money somewhere in some USDC, I think, some whatever token, and he needed to transfer it to Bitcoin. So I learned him how to dump Ethereum for Bitcoin, for example. So yes, and many people are like hearing about DeFi, and then they come and want to talk about this. I mean, it's nice. You can. I also do that, but I never go so deep into these topics because it's crazy, and it's just.
I feel like you're fearing my reactions You can say
Oh.
the truth. It's okay. If you like DeFi, it's okay. It's fine. We have people of all kinds here. I'm actually trying to. No, I'm not sure we have
Yeah,
an Ethereum fan right now in the room, but sometimes. Sometimes.
I mean, I like Ethereum as a technical concept, whatever. The DeFi, the thing is that I'm explaining how crazy is DeFi, or what I'm trying to make people, I want to explain them the real risks and that. It's a. I see the similar thing to the ICO like 3 years ago, because it was just people coming and dumping money to whatever shitcoin came, and now it's to dumping to whatever DeFi. Somebody just comes and say, I heard about this DeFi thing, I want to put my money in that. So you have to explain that you shouldn't probably do that because the shitcoin won't exist in a few months or so on. So. My general things that I'm trying to push is just be conservative and be not conservative but be safe and
Careful. Yeah.
Have your coins beautifully coin joins stored in hardware wallet and untouched. Yeah, this is of course the classic, but you cannot avoid some bitcoining.
You can tell people what to do.
Yes.
Yeah. So how long have you been, when did you start, kind of join Paralelni Polis in Prague?
Prague, just a year, because as I mentioned, we started Paralelni Polis in Bratislava, so I'm from there, and I get involved in the local community of whatever libertarians, crypto hackers there who we're starting the fork of the project there. So it was 2016-17, and I moved to Prague a year and a half ago. So since then I'm here in Prague Polis. And you are all welcome. If you haven't been here, just please come and have a coffee here. Come to Bordel. Yeah.
I really want to come. I don't think that I can physically, but I want to. I don't think your country would let me in. So.
Maybe your country won't let you out because we are in red numbers now.
Actually, yeah. Those are the two problems. My country currently won't let me out, and your country won't let me in. So these are the only two problems though. Once we get by that, then it's no problem. So HCPP this year was your first one?
No, it was my fourth one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Were you on the organizing side for all of those 4 times, or just recently?
Yeah, I was volunteering back then in 2017, and last year I became a core member of the Paralelni Polis itself after I moved here. So I saw more into the organization, and I was
awesome.
more of an organizer, and I had some talks. Yeah.
So, can you tell us a bit about HCPP, because I know it's very well known, and it's known as a very one of the quality conferences in my opinion. Personally, I've never been, but I think that's it's known that. But maybe you can tell us a bit about that. It's Hackers Congress Paralelni Polis, right?
Exactly. So HCPP, if you haven't heard about that, it's Hackers Congress Paralelni Polis, and it's an annual conference that we organize here. This was the 7th one. So as I mentioned, Paralelni Polis was opened 6 years ago, or now it's more than 6 years, and it actually started the first month with the very first HCPP. And then it grew, HCPP is the biggest event, the flagship event that Paralelni Polis organizes. There is tons of speakers from all around the world, and it used to be 50 speakers and 400 attendees for the past few years. This year it was, of course, smaller, but it was also online. All of the talks of the stages were streamed online, and it was also 40-50 speakers, I guess, and but physically it was less attendees, which was good because of course we don't want to many people in COVID situation. But yeah, so this is HTTP. Definitely check some talks from last year's or even from this year. There is HTTP TV, which was the stream non-stop online, but there will be also recordings of talks, and there are some really good talks from these and last year. There were some really cool people here, like Smuggler is classic cryptoanarchist from Berlin. J Stark had talking. There's so many good speakers from past years. There are classics like Andreas Antonopoulos, Aline Ulbrich, Ross's mother was here like 5 years ago, I remember, and well, Amir Taki and all the classic ones were here. So you can find those. Definitely check that.
Yeah, it was an awesome conference this year. I mean, I've watched some of the talks that were really good, and we had the talk here. We broadcasted this smugglers talk here, which was one, it was a really great talk, and two, it was really fun to have him like join in VR after the the actual talk. That was a lot of fun. We thought that a few people suggested, I didn't think of it myself, but a few people suggested it might be cool, if we do that again with a physical conference, to have like, because we could see the audience there, could be cool to do like the opposite, that they could see the audience here, just so that the speakers have an idea of what it looks like, because there are quite a few people here watching the talks. It was fun. And
my right controller just died, but
we did it. Do you need to? Yeah, I already
don't
have a few jokes prepared. If you need to run to get the battery, I can tell some jokes.
You know what? I'm good with one controller. If you can hear me and everything. Smuggler. Actually, I was surprised because he was talking about smuggling, and after all these years, I know him. This was first time where I actually saw him talking about smuggling.
Yeah, he was very open and transparent about that. I was I was surprised.
He's classic. He's from past years. You can find interesting talks by him about cryptoanarchy and this project he created a year ago. It's the currency or whatever it is. Check it. It's cool. He's a cool guy. He has this Cypherpunk Bitstream podcast with Frank Brown. Yes. So these are like classic speakers who are probably each year at Hackers Congress, because they are like OG cypherpunks.
Yeah, real crypto anarchists.
Yes.
So I want to ask you about Bleskomat. So you're saying it's a Lightning ATM. How long has it existed for?
Well,
like when did you guys start working on it? It's very heavily based on LNURL, right?
Yes.
Right.
Actually, so the project itself started on the beginning of 2019, but back then it wasn't utilizing LNURL. The idea to use LNURL actually came after Lightning conference in Berlin a year ago. What is Bleskomat? It's I think it's special in that it uses or this advantages of smooth UX thanks to LNURL, and I love the machine. That's so cute and works so well, and people love it. It's blocks, of course, with many receivers, and it's completely offline. It's super simple and super cheap. So it's just receivers for either bills or coins or both. And the receiver tells just some microcontroller like Arduino what was inserted, and there is a key in the microcontroller which signs it and generates LNURL link, which is displayed on the small display on the machine. And with your wallet that supports LNURL, you just scan the code, which connects it to LNURL server. The server checks the key from the machine, and if it's correct, it offers you money, and you will send invoice from your Lightning wallet for the money you want to get. And LNURL server has macaroon from my Lightning node, so it will pay the invoice, and you get your money immediately. So from the user's perspective, it's flawless and just works so nice. Yeah.
So from the user's perspective, it's kind of transparent, right? They don't actually manually generate the invoice. They just scan the QR code, and then all the communications with the server happens like behind the scenes. That's really cool.
Yes.
And you don't actually need to have the ATM online at all, because the server is a separate component. It can be anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We have because we have this decent track. As I mentioned, we also used to go to some events, conferences, festivals, and we want to do coffee there and onboarding there. And it's hard to have this huge classic ATM machine which is online and it's heavy. It's much more handy to have this small little thing which is offline. You don't need to solve some connections and so on. And the server, as you said, yes, it's and the whole thing is completely open source, of course. So you can self-host the server. I'm running it also in Bordel, or you don't have to deploy the server. You can use the one that blescomat.com is providing, which is run by the creator of Blescomat. You just register there, put their credentials to your node, and your node will be paying invoices. So. And thanks to that, you can easily also manage how much you want to spend there. You just open a channel for the amounts, and what I did is open the channel to major wallets like Phoenix or Async and Wallet of Satoshi and so on. And if somebody is buying from Blescomat, they have it like on one hop. Immediate, so it's perfect. And then they can immediately pay on their BTC Pay for a coffee, which is using the same node. So they basically just give it back, and it's also instant because it's just one hop. Yeah,
that's really cool. So I guess if someone like installs a Lightning wallet for the first time, they will still need to wait for the channel to open, I guess, right? Before they can.
That's the thing. They don't have to. With Phoenix, there is the feature of on-fly opening of turbo channels. So when you first open the wallet, there is already, or you can generate an invoice even if you are completely without channels offline. You can generate an invoice with which sends you to async node and then to non-existing private channel to you. And I can pay the invoice, and in the moment that money is on the async node and it's coming to you, they will ask you to open a channel for you, and if you accept, they will open a turbo channel to you. Turbo channel is based on unconfirmed transaction, and it's actually the concept was invented by our friend from Paralelni Polis, Martin Havel. So
that's really cool.
Flawlessly. Yeah, and
that's really cool.
Thanks to wallets like this and Blescomat, you can have your first bitcoins in few seconds.
That's awesome, because people used to say that it would be very difficult with Lightning to onboard people, like even more difficult than with Bitcoin, but it's actually easier.
Yes, exactly. Lightning is my onboarding game. Lightning is easier to use than for this kind of purposes. It's just best to use. As I mentioned before, that we used Litecoin as a playground. Now we are using Lightning as a playground because it's much better, and it works perfect. Because even with Litecoin, if you had a coffee, you had to wait these 2-3 minutes for block, and it wasn't so flawless like this. So this is really great. And the thing with Lightning is I understand why people see it as harder to use than on-chain Bitcoin, but if they can try this and use these tools, they will find out that it's as easy as Bitcoin on-chain.
Yeah, I think it's even maybe easier in some cases, like the case that you described. Maybe even easier. Definitely. How do I get a Blescomat ATM? How do I build one? Like, what do I need? Do you also sell these, or do you just?
Yeah, so you can go to github.com/samotari/Blescomat, and there is the whole thing, how to wire it, how to build it. What you can do also, so you can buy all your parts by yourself, but guys from Blescomat Crew are also selling kits. On the blescomat.com website, you can find a contact, and if you're interested, you can write them. And you can get a kit, build your own blescomat, and either run a server or connect to a blescomat.com server, and you have your own machine. And the thing that I love about this is that well, it's so cheap and easy to use, because the normal ATMs that you can see in the shopping centers and so on are pretty expensive. It's like thousands, maybe even thousands of euros, and it's operated by, for example, here it's operated just by a few companies. Yeah. So if somebody wants to prohibit those ATMs, if governments want to censor them, they will need to kick out just a few doors. But if everybody runs their own blescomat, it's much harder to prohibit, censor them, and so on. It's basically much more decentralized, and it enables you this peer-to-peer exchange. Because what is happening is that I have my own blescomat here, which is just an interface to my node. Yeah, you are buying money from me. It's peer-to-peer. It's between us, and that was good thing about Bitcoin. And yeah, you can launder money like this pretty easily. Or you know what I mean.
It's good to know. That's good to know. So how do you do the part with, like, when I just know nothing about this, the part of like accepting coins or notes? Like what kind of hardware do I need for that? Just to
it's a receiver. It's for coins. It's a receiver which costs like $10 from AliExpress, maybe 20 even with customs and stuff. There's of course some better options. I had a chat with Ben Ark, which is a socialist on HTTP TV, and he mentioned to me that there is also some cheap better option, but you can get this coin acceptor for a few dollars, and you train it. It can remember like I think 10 coins. So you just put there, I'm installing coin for €2, and you put there 20 different €2 coins, and it will just learn that. And but it's not perfect, because sometimes it doesn't recognize the coin even if it's trained, and it works in beeps. It gives you to microcontroller. It doesn't send you the number, but beeps. So it takes time to load it actually, if you are entering higher amount. And the banknote receiver is more advanced and more expensive. It's like, I think, $200 at least or something like that. But you can get that, and so you will export bills, and you don't have to train it. You will just load their firmware with the currency that you want from the company that sells it, and it just sends number to a microcontroller. So yeah,
right,
that's how it works.
Yeah. Simple enough. And then you need bodyguards to guard the nodes.
That's the thing. Yeah, and that's the difference between these two markets. The traditional ATMs with these huge safes, where there is everything regulatory needed, like the paint that sprays when you open it and stuff like this. That's everything in traditional ATMs. This is just a concept of you can build it yourself. It's not a professional ATM. So I see it as a different market maybe, or this is just for individuals or small businesses that want to play with it, to sell some Bitcoin peer-to-peer and so on.
Right.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, so I can build my own if I can go to the repo on GitHub. That's good.
Yeah, you can. Yes, exactly. You can, and you can find a workshop about building blescomat from HCPP, and I believe we'll organize some in a near future also, because everybody wants to build their own blescomat.
And is there an Ethereum version of blescomat?
Oh no! Come on, how would it work?
I don't know. I don't know. You're right. So
yeah.
Well, you mentioned Monero before, with and that people like. I get that, like the whole crypto anarchist stuff, and they would use Monero for privacy sometimes. And I think that well, that's what people say. I wouldn't know, but people say that on dark markets, people use Bitcoin and maybe sometimes Monero. Those are the popular currencies.
Yes.
And a question that pops up a lot is if people actually use Lightning as well. The answer to which I would assume is a resounding no. But maybe you know something that I don't. Like, do you know of any established dark markets that use Lightning? And if not, do you expect that they would start using that soon, or why don't they do it?
Yeah, so Lightning in dark markets, as you said, it's not there. I can think of any dark marketplace which accepts Lightning. It doesn't mean that I know all of them and so on, but why? Because it might occur harder to implement for people running the service. Actually, that's the same question. In Lightning case, I see it as the same question why everybody who accepts Bitcoin and stuff doesn't also accept Lightning. Yeah, because it's new, it might seem harder to implement for people. So many vendors, even here, local vendors, like physically in Prague, there's a bunch of them. It's like only like 1% of them also accept Lightning because they didn't really heard about it. They didn't have the guide to explain the thing like Bitcoin before. Because 5 years ago, somebody came to the shop here and explained them Bitcoin, gave them terminal how to accept it, but now they can't really use it because of fees, and nobody came again and explained Lightning. So I see slowly people adapting Lightning in a normal vendor world, and on darknet, I believe it might happen, but it will be still minority. But what I see as a good let's say darknet case for Lightning is running your BTC base behind Tor and using that as your own darknet, yeah, because you can do that pretty easily, and many people is doing that. Just yesterday I spinned up one new server with everything and including BTC Pay behind Tor. And I prepare, like, in BTC Pay, I created point of sale terminal. So you just go to the .onion site /BTC Pay, and you get there my directname basically. And
right.
But the problem is that BTC Pay doesn't really uses Tor for fully privacy, and if you want to achieve it, you have to tweak it a bit. So I can imagine this something like. Maybe it's the advantage might be for example peer-to-peer exchanges trades like something that OpenBazaar wanted to achieve can be done I think more easily with something more general like Bitcoin and BTC Pay on
right. So you're saying instead of people like using someone else's platform, they could just be an independent merchant, and use BTC Pay.
Yes. Come on. Yeah. I mean, you have your own dark market here on few clicks thanks to that. So
that's true. That's a good point. That's a good point. And it is kind of what OpenBazaar, I guess, we're going for at the time, and they wanted to have like this very a solution where everything is kind of built in, and you kind of download one app and get everything. Recently, I'm just thinking out loud. Recently, I don't remember who it was. There was some government agency somewhere. I don't remember which one it was, where they said that like the 3 projects they're concerned about, I think, were like Wasabi and something else, and OpenBazaar too. I think that was mentioned.
Oh yes, it was mentioned.
Yeah. So that was cool. It's nice to get this sort of attention. I guess it's nice. I'm gonna in a moment. I'm gonna open this to questions from the audience. So think about questions. Just saying. But before that, I want to ask you a bit about VR, because I know you guys are into VR, and you were into VR in Paralelni Polis too, and now in Prague, and you mentioned like some of these other platforms like Somnium Space and Decentraland, and although some people might know that I'm not the biggest Ethereum fan, but even though that's the case, I did try like probably all of them. Like I know Ethereum has at least 3, probably more. I think there are at least 4 platforms I know of that are kind of have something to do with Ethereum and also in VR. And one of them is Somnium Space, which actually I tried again last week or this week. And and there's Decentraland, which is browser based, and it's cool because it's browser based.
Yes.
I like that people can just jump in. That there's a small problem that there's no voice chat, which I'm personally kind of offended by, but that's okay. And they have crypto voxels, which is also browser based. That's pretty cool. I mean, they're all like kind of experiments. But I wanted to hear from you if you guys are using any of those in any capacity. Like, what are you? Because I don't know. I don't know why the whole NFT thing is going on. Well, I know why, but I don't know why the focus on that. But they do build like cool VR platforms on the list. Like
yes.
Yeah. So I wonder if you have any experience with any of those, and like, what are your favorites?
Yeah, as I said, we built Paralelni Polis building in Somnium Space, and it was because of our member friend here who is involved within Somnium and also Ethereum stuff. So it was a perfect storm, and he built it for us, and we used it a bit. So it's actually my whole experience with Somnium. I don't really like that approach of Somnium Space because it seems more close to me. I'm more like Decentraland in this way. I know also some developers, and so it's more open, but it depends on probably what you want to do. If you want to do meetups like this, you probably won't choose that. We actually in Paralelni Polis, when we did meetups, we used Outspace.
It can be a meetup for deaf people who can't hear. Then you can do like signs. Well,
sort of
actually, you can't even use sign language because it also doesn't support VR. That's another thing about it. It's a VR platform with no VR support. So, but those are the two things that's missing. It sounds like I'm a hater. I'm not.
Already, I'm not actually not sure because I wasn't using it on VR, but I think there is some Steam VR option on Decentraland on Steam, but I'm not super sure. So.
Well, I don't know. When I tried it, there wasn't, but maybe things changed. It was a while ago.
Yeah. So, but what I don't
asked.
like generally is the approach of buying the land for NFTs. I mean, okay, I understand the approach, but I don't really like it in a sense that we have here finally something like digital virtual world, which can be everything that we want, can be infinite. We can have here all the resources because they are digital. We can create them, yeah. And somebody wants to, you understand my point. That's against what I was expecting from VR. I'm not saying that it's bad or something, but that's my point.
Yeah, there's this concept of that a lot of like Second Life did that too in their day, like when you kind of simulate like real estate in VR or virtual world, whatever, and then you sell that. But yeah, it's weird. Like, why would you would pay in the real world? You would pay more for real estate that's next to the beach, right? But why in the virtual world everything can be next to the beach? So why would you?
Well, yes.
Why would you do that to yourself?
Yeah, and it used to be crazy. I remember because we had, as I mentioned, we had building there, and then the guy who created it, the first one, then he sold it because the price of the NFT went up. Yeah, so.
Well, yeah.
It
can be a good investment sometime.
Well, it was good investment for him.
Yeah, that's the interesting, like Second Life. I read like some interviews with Second Life people, and there seems to be, as far as I can tell, I wasn't very involved in the Second Life times, but there seems to be like a consensus these days that the selling land idea wasn't the best, and when they tried, they created a new platform which didn't succeed. But the new platform didn't have that. They just had like a lot like Altspace. You can just select worlds and go there. One thing though that maybe makes sense is just the point that it's a platform that you use, and they need to pay for maintenance of servers, and they need to build the like 3D assets and whatever. They need to build stuff for you, so you can pay for that. You can say, okay, I'm going to pay like $10 a month, $50 a month, whatever it is, to rent the resources that you need. But yeah, I don't know. So no known favorites necessarily.
Yes. I mean, I understand the reasoning, funding development and everything thanks to NFTs, buying land, and so on. It's a nice concept, but I would even prefer, for example, monthly some fee and having all the access I want and having all the worlds I want. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's my take. Yeah.
You hear that, Decentraland? Please give us subscriptions and voice. Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna open this to questions. Let's see if people have any questions about dark markets or something. So the way it works, on the bottom right of the screen, you're gonna have a button that says raise hand, and you can click that. And let's start with Waxwing. Go ahead.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, great. Hi, thanks. So first I just want to say to people that I can sort of second the recommendation to visit Paralelni Polis in Prague. It's a really interesting place to spend time at, especially HCPP specifically, although you can go there other times. I've been there a few times. Now, I had a question, it's marginally off topic, but I think it might be nice to sort of broaden out this concept that every time I've been there and these conferences, the thing about the conference is it's quite varied. Unlike other Bitcoin and Bitcoin related conferences, what sort of stands out about this one is they have a lot of very varied concepts being discussed in the talks. I mean, even to the point that some of them are downright wacky. I mean, from my point of view. But you can go and look at the subjects of some of the talks. You'll see what I mean. But they're really interesting. And one that I saw this time was by Harry Halpin. Actually, he'd been there in previous years as well. And he was talking specifically about mixnets, which, as somebody into cryptography, is something very interesting to me. And although I haven't actually studied the specific platform that they've recently released, and there's been some buzz around it, it raises the topic in my mind that in a place like Paralelni Polis, which is about cryptoanarchy generally, obviously you must be thinking a lot more than just Bitcoin or the financial side, but also about other aspects of security, cryptography usage. So apart from the obvious one of PGP, do you spend much time there talking about different communications platforms for security and cryptography? And do you have recommendations you give people? Obviously it wouldn't be mixnets, because that's a very new thing that isn't really, but what sort of advice do you give people?
Yeah, thank you for the question. Harry was here. Actually, I haven't seen his talk, but I partied with him that night. So, NIM, we are actually going to also run a NIM node here. But generally about some security and privacy, as I mentioned on the start, I'm focused on these topics. I also do workshops about how to secure yourself and do some privacy and so on. Actually had this workshop on first day of HCPP. So there is many tools that I could recommend. Generally use encryption on your devices, use encrypted communication. What I prefer is Signal. Signal is open source, nice messenger, works real well, and it has really nice UX. So anybody, even your mom, can teach that. My mom is using Signal,
Nice.
And I'm not sure what was the other part of the question, privacy and so on in general. Yes, so what I also workshop about here is using stuff like Unix and a proper usage of Tor and some, for example, about security also. Cubes is fun. We had a workshop on that recently here.
Right, so I agree that things like Signal are good recommendations. I didn't really have a broader question, but I am going to broaden it slightly. What do you see in the future as being the direction of those kind of things like, you're looking at things like mesh nets and stuff? Because it's not just about privacy, right? If we're thinking about cryptoanarchy, it's also about defense against government attacks and so on.
So what I see in the future, mixnets are interesting technology. What we need is I'm not sure if mixnets are all the answers, but we need some improvement on a Tor layer, or the anonymization layer, which mixnets can help us, but Tor needs some improvements in this case because many people just rely on it. Yeah, there used to be this meme, just use Tor. Yeah, that solves everything. So what I'm worried about is the infrastructure itself and whether I can trust that. So yeah, I'm just getting around. I'm not sure still what the question was. So what I see as the way in the future. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Like if
Yeah. Udi keeps muting me because he just doesn't want me to speak. So
the reason
But
I'm muting you is that your speakers are very loud. So
Oh, sorry.
there's a lot of
Sorry.
Oh
feedback.
yeah, actually I can hear feedback.
And also what you mentioned that I don't want you to speak.
Yeah. What,
Yeah,
how can we? What? Okay, let me be more specific with the question. It's like in the future. I envisage, not in the future, right now. I envisage massive government attack on all forms of privacy. Certainly, things like Bitcoin is happening right now. Certainly, all kinds of like attempts at any kinds of privacy. So, what technologies do you see as being most promising? You mentioned Tor. We mentioned mixnets. I mentioned meshnets as well. Things like that. Well, what technologies do you think would be for that?
Well, privacy is attacked constantly. What tools should I suggest? So in the terms of Bitcoin, yeah, that you mentioned, we need to achieve some network privacy. So using wallets that enables you or not to leak your addresses to third parties, and of course coin joining and pay joining and all the on-chain privacy. These are tools that I love, and I used to achieve some privacy on this kind of layer. But there is many topics. Privacy is not just about one part of life, but there's everything. So yeah, about the communication and so on, I see Signal as a good case, but maybe what do we need now? It will sound kind of buzzwordy. Might be more decentralization if we want to prepare on like really heavy attack against privacy in general. So what are interesting concepts? Some meshnets, Gotena kind of thing, where we can actually have our own network, which is encrypted and not really censorable. I understand the question, but it was still too general, like, because there is so many parts of the life where you can.
Okay, I'll stop torturing you. You can.
Yes. I hope you get at least partially the answer.
No, it was a good answer. Waxwing is just a difficult question person. I don't know what the word is that I'm looking for, but let's move on to the next one. MZ?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Hello, thank you. Do you planning to have, or what will be another good time to visit Paralelni Polis? Because this time I wasn't there in Meetspace, and I'm positive that it will be again in October next year, but it's like a year between. Is there any other events, maybe some summer event or something else?
Yeah, so there are other interesting events, but I can't really promise what will happen because of the situation, of course. But what we are planning to do, what I highlight, is during the next year, starting next year in the spring, what we used to do is Black Swan, which is Security Congress that's focused on like Hackers Congress is more general, as was mentioned here, but this is Security Congress focused on security, OPSEC, hacking. So there are speakers from like pen testing kind of world and so on. That's a big conference, also interesting event. It was supposed to be this March or April, but it was cancelled. But so we are planning to do it again next year. Then we are doing Hackathon. Hackathon is flying circuit, which was Bordel hackerspace, where I'm sitting right now, was created thanks to this hackathon. And this hackathon is focused not just on building some crypto bullshit, but on real hacking and on also some social and urban hacking. So you can check that Hackatosh's Flying Circuit, and then I would highlight camp, Paralelni Polis summer camp that we do, which is like 1 week where each day there are some workshops. For example, first day is about is introduction to cryptocurrencies. Second day is security. Third day is 3D printing, and so on. That we have each day different topics and some networking and so on that we do here. So check that. I hope it will be there next year and it will happen. Everything I mentioned was last year and was supposed to happen also this year, but couldn't. We managed to do HCPP, but yeah. So just follow Paralelni Polis and you will notice this. Or you can, if you are around, you can just come anytime and enjoy the time here.
Nice. Yeah, if they let me in, I'll go, whether there's an event or not. I promise.
Yeah.
If they let me in, or maybe I can kind of infiltrate the country.
Yeah, whenever you come,
well.
we can do ad hoc party in Bordel, and I'll invite you here, and so.
That sounds good. Okay, let's take another question from Faison. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, I might have misheard you on this, but where you're helping onboard new users with their own Lightning nodes. Did I hear you say that you help them build the Pi node and then you house the node at your facility instead of their
yes
home? Is that a security thing or a economics thing, or what's the reason behind it?
I mean, because we have because you can be a member of the Paralelni Polis or some part of the Paralelni Polis, so you have it here. It's kind of also like an advantage to membership. We have a server rack with all the security and internet and so on. So we have like an infrastructure, also some layer of security, and also what is beneficial is that we have like all the networking port forwarding done right. So for example, it's not problem to have public IP here, which some people with their ISP at home have problems. So we basically solved this. And I mean, I'm not saying that I'm housing all of the nodes that I helped to build here. I'm just saying that some of them are also here. Many people have also, of course, their nodes at home. Yeah. So
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Next question from Caro. Go ahead. Caro, I can't hear you.
Oops. Okay. Do you hear me now? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Hey. So, how do I become a member of Paralelni Polis?
Just come and just come and if you come to Paralelni Polis, we will stop you at Tourniquet, and some lovely lady on the reception will open for you and ask you what you're doing here, and she will help you if you don't know the answer. She will explain like what is happening here, and you can become a member of basically each concept in Polis. So the basic membership is Cafe, that you are a member of Cafe. So you can, because if you can come, but you are a host, you're a guest there, and if you become a member, the monthly membership is 300 crowns, which is like what 10 euros, 12 euros, and you have a cheaper cafe. You have access to the parts of the building. Yeah. Then you can also become a member of Bordel, that's our hackerspace, or membership fee is some 200,000 sats, so like $20, and you have access to all the tools here. We have your own box here, and we have different kinds of stuff here, like 3D printers, VR, of course, and synthesizers, and other normal tools, soldering and stuff. You can become a member of co-working space. So you are, co-working. You have your own table. There are different levels of co-working. You can become a member of Club of Paralelni Polis, which is like the more of a core, which is like 20 people who are super, deep into this Paralelni Polis community, and we do some special events for them. You can also become a member of Board of Paralelni Polis, which is board of donators, some rich people who are willing to pay for the rent for us. That's like a few €100 per month. Yeah. So there are different levels of membership, and you can just choose and give us your sets, and you will become a member. Yeah.
Fair enough. Cool.
Yeah. I mean, we have to pay bills, so.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That makes sense. That does make sense. Okay. Those are the questions. Thank you very much, Mario, for coming here and answering our noob questions. Thank you. This was awesome. And thanks everyone who showed up today. It's great to see you again. Thanks everyone who watching on video. I don't know why you're watching on video when you can just be here. So next weekend you can be here. Go to recklessvr.com, sign up, and you'll get an invite, and you can join here on the next weekend. We do those every weekend, every Saturday. So no-brainer, really. So what we're gonna do next, like every weekend, I'm gonna take like a 15-minute break, and then we're gonna go to VR chat. If you're into that, you can join us too if you're not tired yet. And this week we're gonna try BitPaint's world, which is pretty cool. It features a few cool things. One of them is those new pumpkins by CQ, who is not here. I can't believe CQ is not here, because we're premiering FOMO and Slowmo. Those are their names. I don't remember who's who. If she was here, she could have told us, but she's not here, so I'm gonna mix them up. But anyways, they're pretty cool, and I'm sure you can buy the NFTs or the physical ones or both or whatever. But yeah, so that's it. So have fun. I'm gonna unmute everyone, and also you can walk on stage, I guess. Yeah, you can do that, and that's it. So thanks.
Thank you so much.
Stage.
Everyone, rush the stage.
Whoa.
So this is slow-mo, obviously, Udi, come on.
No, this is
Obviously.
Yeah, I
FOMO.
guess.
No,
Yeah, I guess
this
it's
is FOMO.
obviously slow-mo.
Yeah, this is
FOMO.
FOMO, and the other
No,
one.
no,
this
this
is
is slow-mo. No, come on.
Come on,
This-
I've
look,
downloaded
he's-
those files.
He's depressed. He's depressed. He's
Yeah,
depressed.
that's the face you do when you FOMO and you have to buy
No.
at a higher price.
Oh, I see. I get it now.
Yeah, and he's chill because
He's chill.
DCA.
Smash me on
Yeah, he's do DCA.
He's DCA. Look, that's the face of a DCA if ever I saw one.
That's
Yep.
true. He's just chill.
I got
Take that, BitPaint.
DCA has no scientific basis, no mathematical basis, by the way. No
What's the
DCA.
question mark?
I don't believe.
No, it's
on
more
DCA.
What's the
Doesn't
question?
make no sense.
psychological thing.
Ah.
What question mark? Down here. Oh, that one. Yeah. I wondered
So,
that as well. I don't
yeah.
know.
I
It helps
pressed it and it
ground
shows
me.
some health thing.
With gives me tips for better living.
So we're invading your personal space here, Rudy. I'm sorry about this.
Have fun.
Invite
I
us.
mean, I let you in, so
Oh, I have
Oh shit!
hands
I'm in the
again.
wall. I'm behind the thing. Shit.
He put all the funny stuff in his side.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah.
of course. I don't want the guests shooting me in the face.
Yeah.
Have you fixed that it's not reachable from here? No, it's reachable from here, right? Yeah.
It's reachable, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not that smart.
You
So-
don't care.
Okay, I'm going to
Right.
eat and dab, and then I'll see you in VR chat. In a
Eat
bit.
and
Yeah.
dab. Both?
Well, first dab and then eat,
Okay. Have fun.
Sounds right.
and then maybe dab again, maybe.
Yes.
So, oh, Wexwing
So
already
how
gone.
much is